Honor God. He's a human being, like 7 feet tall. Turns out the guy's an NBA player, didn't know it at the time. And I was like, can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? He's like, is everything okay? I'm like, yeah, come on. I need you to help me lift this guy up. He's like, do you work here? I'm like, no. But we lift him up, and it was like life came back into his face. 13 years he'd been paralyzed from a snowboarding accident. Think how many times he was sitting there when everybody was dancing. And in this moment, he was there. He was moving. 3 days later, he took his first steps in 13 years. This is what it looked like. That is what happens when you start believing in possibility. You're crazy, buddy. Yeah. This is what's real. This is Andy today. Every morning he gets up and does a walking meditation. He started to believe. He started to fall in love with his life. He was dancing. He was standing there at the moment, but it opened up a possibility in his mind. It planted a seed of what was possible. His mission, he bought a snowboard. He's going back on it. That's what his manifestation is now. I was hosting the Manifesting Summit in Miami last year. Anyone tune in for that? Okay, cool. We got one or two. Don't worry, Regan will be here today. It's going to be amazing. And I told this story because I want people to believe. And there was a woman there in a wheelchair. She saw it. A couple months later, I see her at MVU. And she said, I was really kind of angry that you told that story. Like, it affected me. 20 years this woman was paralyzed. And she said, I started to sit with myself and say, why was I so angry? She had all these stories. What the doctors told her, it was impossible. It would never happen. But the more she started to believe, the more she started to think, what if? What if? The more she opened up to what is actually possible. 20 years, she decided she was going to go for it. She took her first steps underwater in 20 years. And if you can walk underwater, you can walk on land eventually. And my God, this woman is going to do it. This is because she believed in a new possibility. Manifesting can get you a house. It can get you a car. It can get you a relationship. It can get you health. It can get you anything that you allow yourself to believe in, to fall in love with. And so after this happened, I was like, oh my God, what's going on? That moment you're like, this is so real. Why did nobody teach me this? So I was at MVU and I was like, okay, well, can I manifest? I was so inspired. So I remember on the last day, I was just in the dance floor dancing and I was like, put me in awe. Let me be of service. Please just use me. Let me share this message with more people in the world. And I just danced. I just fell in love with life. And in doing so, I woke up the next morning to this, Elon Musk posting my video out of nowhere, 65 million views. Got invited to speak to the United Nations. All kinds of things started happening. Why? Was I sitting there and just journaling? I was in love. I was in my heart. I had a clear intention, but I was just living and loving my life. And this is what I want you guys to think about or to know. The law of attraction states that this like attracts like. So when you're in love, when you're at that frequency, when you're vibrating, you're a magnet to whatever it is your heart desires. It is all possible. So I want to do this exercise with you really quickly because I know I flew through those miracles, which is pretty amazing, but I want you to have a moment before we begin today to think about this love. L, you got to get into the present moment. The present moment is where all possibilities exist. You've got to get into your heart gratitude. So I want you to look around. What are you grateful for? What are you grateful for right now in this moment? And as you do this, you can put it on your phone. People online, you can write it down. But think, what are you grateful for? Oh, what is the opportunity that you want to create in your life? What would just put you in awe? That's my favorite affirmation. Just put me in awe. I'm limited in my consciousness, but there is a higher consciousness. V, visualize it. see yourself in that life and feel it, right? Experience, what does that feel like? So I want to give you guys we don't have a ton of time, but a few 30 seconds. Think about this. Really think about this. If what happened in your life, open yourself up to possibility. Allow yourself to dream. What is it? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Close your eyes if you want for a moment. Get into your heart. What if this happened would absolutely change your life? Would be maybe a beacon of light to other people. And here's what I really want you to understand, that everything truly is possible when you believe in possibility. And so we're going to have some amazing people here today. We are in unbelievable energy. When that post happened, when I was viral, I was with thousands of people at a MindValley event. So much high frequency, so much energy. You are there right now, even online. There is no time and space. You are with us. It is a collective. We're creating together. Are you guys excited? Is this pretty freaking amazing? This is what's real. Is there anyone that has an idea that wants to share? We can all pour some love and intention onto your creation. We have some mic runners. Anybody have an idea? They're like claiming it, commanding it. Okay, front row, boom, hand up. Let's go. Can we get a mic runner to the front, please? Love it. This guy knows what he wants. Keep trying.
No. Oh, here we go. First of all, thank you.
You're welcome.
And secondly, thank you to all of the people in here. There's this lovely gentleman in here.
Thank you.
And his lovely wife, Vision, the community.
Thank you.
My intention was I'm bringing up a new book called Climb Greater Heights, which is pretty much in alignment with everything MindValley does. So my intention is to be New York Times bestseller.
Can we give it up for the New York Times bestseller in the front row? Congratulations. Saw you on the billboard in New York. There you go. Did you see how he embodied that? Guys, you got to feel it ahead of the experience. You got to believe. He is a New York Times bestseller. Maybe he's trapped in this version of himself right now, but all it takes is stepping outside of the box, believing it, falling in love with that idea, walking into the bookstore, knowing your book's right there. Thank you for sharing. Okay, right here. Boom, stand it up fast.
Helen, we were having a picture this morning and I knew we were meant to meet. So I want to say hi to everyone and what a beautiful collective energy. I'm Sharon. I'm a speaker. I work for brands like Chanel, Estee Lauder.
And Sharon, what are you creating? Not to cut you off because we're out of time.
I will speak at MindValley. In my heart, I want to share, empower, and
wait, Sharon, I think you are speaking at MindValley right now.
I am.
Well, that was a fast manifestation.
Yeah.
Give it up for Sharon.
Thank you.
Not sometimes, all the time, we are already that which we are seeking. This is your treasure chest. You are the genie. Imagine, I'm a genie. That's what it says. You grant your own wishes. And when you believe, when you truly just believe, I don't care if you have full clarity, feel it. What would it feel like? And fall in love with that version of you, because that version of you is just as alive as this one right here, right now. I know there's a lot of you in the chat. Tell us in the chat what you're creating too. And guys, we might check in on this later today. We have to move on to our next speaker, but I hope you feel inspired. Do you feel inspired that it's all